Hey, welcome back to the Freaks. It's been a year. Well, a little bit over, but that's neither here nor there. It's been a year, guys.
The year anniversary, even though we are really fucking late.
Yeah. But thank you.
Yes.
Let's reflect on the past that we have done.
Should
Wow.
we? Should we?
That was good. Well, here, hold on. Let me 2, 4, 6. Wait, hold on. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10 counting this one. So that's like an episode every like 1.2 months.
Damn.
It's not too bad.
Now I know the real reason they're here. They want to see them gaming videos.
But we're doing this first. This is what we started with this. And we're gonna keep going.
Yes, sir.
Tell it to them.
I have a certain topic. If this might be a long one, so if we want, I can do this one now or a little bit later.
What is the topic?
What is
It is sort of an exercise. Well, if you guys trust me, which I probably know the answer, I'll give you guys an exercise and it'll prove my point.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Okay. Here's how it's gonna work.
I'm
just
scared.
gonna say it's fine. I'm just gonna unzip my pants and I'm kidding.
And he's blocked.
No.
Alrighty then.
All right. No. So okay. Here's how it works. I'm just gonna say something and then you just describe what I'm gonna talk to you guys about. Okay. Just answer the questions. What is 1 + 1?
5.
Ooh. Okay, that proved my point immediately. Okay. It's great to hear. It's great to hear. Good job.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
All right, well, you kind of just partially proved my point, so we're just going to go on to the second part. What's blue and yellow mixed together?
Me.
See, this is helping, actually. This is proving my point. So, Andrew, what's blue and yellow mixed together?
Green.
Good job. All right, now, you see how you guys... There are two answers to nearly any simple question like that. The right answer, the objectively right answer, or the jokingly wrong answer, or just the wrong answer in general. So now, here's the next one. Think of the color red.
I'm thinking.
Yeah.
What does your red look like?
Red.
Like
red.
Like describe what we can think of that describes the red that you're thinking of.
Sonic shoes.
Okay.
Apple.
Yeah. But that's like different shades and tints of red.
I was just thinking of like the actual the color red itself, like a block red. That's it.
Yeah. Okay. This kind of proves my point, and it made me kind of have a realization like a while back, and that's why I wrote it down. So,
you're colorblind. Yeah, it's about time.
No, surprisingly. No, which is kind of weird that isn't it 1 out of every 4 guys are colorblind?
Well, there's 3 of us.
Yeah.
We need another one.
Yeah. If you 1 out of 12 men are colorblind. Wow. Wow, that's weird. All right. But no, the point is that we Andre, you're probably thinking of just red, what. Again, you're thinking of a different type of red. Andrew was thinking of a different type of red, and I was thinking of a different type of red. It's because that we all have a different idea and view of color. Because it's we may all be humans. We were all 98.6% of our DNA is so similar to different animals, especially apes. But it's that 1.4% that really makes even the humans different from each other, if you think about it. And
so you think I'm a part reptile? I'm a lizard?
Not that. More of
I don't do none of that tongue shit.
More that because there's that 1.6, everyone else is different in some way, shape, or form. When you think about it, all 3 of us, we are not copy and pasted. Because if we were, that would be really weird. But what I mean is that yes, we are humans. We all have essentially the same build: upright, 2 legs, 2 arms. Just what you think of when you someone tells you describe a human, you think of 2 arms, 2 legs, all that. But we were born with how we see color with cones and rods and all that, and color receptors, just our eyes in general. They're different. Like my color receptors are built a little bit differently between you guys and vice versa. So
Yes.
it's kind of, which is really cool to think about, because I could be seeing the color green. Like if all 3 of us are looking at a little palette, like a little paper that's colored red, like the red that you're thinking of, Andre, I might be seeing a slightly different color red, and then Andrew might be doing that as well.
Perhaps, yeah.
So it's it's amazing to think about that, how again, we are through thousands of years, 100,000 and close to 1,000,000 years or so of evolution. We all partially look the same, with again the same basic build, but we are so vastly different from each individual. Like all 3 of us, we have our likes, our similarities, but we aren't exact copied from the exact same molecule that we are
Yes.
all. And that is amazing to think about. That again, we all, and not only that, how we see color, we all see people in a different light. That sounded weird, but let me promptly explain before it becomes something down more south. So everyone has a perspective about everyone else. Am I wrong?
You're not wrong.
No.
Yeah. So if, let's just say, we take any person, just name a person.
Will Smith.
There we go. How do you see him?
The guy who
that
bitch
movie
slapped
guy.
the fuck out of
Chris Rock. Yeah, Andre, how do you see him?
Movie guy.
See, exactly. And I think of him as the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. But other people might see him as something, and probably do see him as something completely different. We all have an idea of the same person, but we all have different perspectives. Like in reality, Andre, you have a different perspective of Andrew and I that we do of you, and then so on and so forth. Like all 3 of us probably see each other in a different light than how we see ourselves.
Andre's my little Pookie.
All right, so never mind. We all have a shared vision on that. Well, I guess my thought is over.
Save me.
But no. But I think if I remember right, there was a book about someone who kind of went crazy over the fact that he viewed himself as something, then everyone else viewed him as someone else. And since he didn't know how, because all the random people that just walked by him on the street, and he just, you don't just go up to someone and ask hey, what do you think of me? Because then your immediate thought is going to be, you're a weirdo that just came up to me and talked to me out of nowhere. He went mad. He went full on crazy about it. And I'm not yet. But I think that's just outstandingly awesome.
You will be following in his footsteps. You will go crazy.
I probably, but just the idea that again, we all see things that aren't the subjective truth,
right?
Or that is agreed by everyone, literally everyone, that everything is different. The sky is blue. Everyone agrees on that because it's true.
I think it's green.
Again, that proves my second part, that some people are just idiots and cannot properly comprehend something.
Wow.
Yeah, Andrew. How could you not understand that the sky is actually purple? Get it right, man.
Yeah, get it right, mate. But that when things are proven, and there are the idiots, flat earthers, that somehow go against everything that is 100% proven, but those who are smart, they agree. But if it is something that is not subjective, sorry, the objective correction, sorry, but if it's the subjective opinion or the subjective goal, that's where we all really become different.
Yeah.
What's the best way to get around town? Someone might say car, bike, motorcycle, all that. And it's just the perspective of everything. It's fantastic. I love it. I love kind of thinking about that kind of stuff, that we're all different, but yet we all share so much that, like, that's why we can create bonds with each other.
As long as you don't think too heavily on it, you'll be fine. But like if you
No.
think too much, then you're gonna be like, oh my god, like go crazy over it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go like that. I'm just like, it's like really awesome to think about that. That like, like, because like I used to think about that a lot. Like when I was younger, like like looking over like on the highway, and I'm like, I wonder what they have, like what their life is, like as cars pass by. Like I wonder where they're going, what their life is about, what they're doing with themselves. Like I think it's like amazing.
Easy to find out. Just follow them home.
You make a good point. But I was 7 at the time, and I couldn't drive.
Don't need to drive.
What's stopping you now? What's stopping you now, man?
I don't have a car. I have a bike.
Use your
there
bike.
You go.
There we go.
That's the answer.
Just don't get caught.
Imagine like someone in like on the highway going at like 70, and there's just someone on a bike going just as fast behind, like just following you. God, that'd be scary. But I think it's really awesome to think about that kind of stuff. Like that's what really kind of sets different people apart. Like if you're not like, if you don't like, if your personality isn't just the objective opinion, then like if that's it, like your whole life is like, oh, I agree with like all I am is just one big yes man. Then you're good. Yeah, but like like more like they don't have their own opinion on stuff.
Yeah, a
sheep. Yeah, sorry. But that's what I mean. Like those are the people.
All sheep.
Yeah, those are the people that like I feel sad for, that they don't have their own lives or their own opinions. That they're just like they just do what the others say, or like they don't really have a personality. It's like, oh, I like music. What kind? Just music. Like, tell me, what's your favorite artist? Or,
music.
Music, yeah. Like stuff like that. Like, it's amazing to think about. It's fantastic. I love it. I mean, a few nights ago, I was just like staring up. Oh my god, excuse me. At my great. At my ceiling, just thinking about it. It was great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, we all have different favorites. Like, favorite food. Like, Andrew, yours is anything that was breathing.
Mm-hmm.
Andre, yours is fettuccine alfredo, if I remember right.
That is correct.
What's mine?
Just silence.
What's mine, guys?
I don't think you've ever told us your favorite.
I have.
No, you haven't.
I have. I really have.
You have not.
Is it some kind of pasta?
Yeah.
Spaghetti.
That's all I remember.
It's pasta. That's it. Just downright pasta.
All I remember is the pasta part.
That's all that you need to know. If it's pasta, that's all I need. My Italian heritage runs thick. But again, it's great to know that we all have different perspectives and differences on things. Now, if it's on more violent stuff or more political, that's where I draw the line. I'm like, I'm out. We're done. I'm not talking about this because I'm not that kind of person.
I simply don't care for politics.
Yeah, I'm not that kind of person. Like if it's like, oh, did you hear about blank? Like anything political? I'm like, I'm out. Peace. See ya, homie.
I simply just don't care.
Yeah. Yeah. The memes are funny though. We like the memes. Yeah.
Yeah, like the AI of Sleepy Joe and.
Yeah, I love watching those videos with Obunga and Obama and the gang.
Yeah, the creator of them stopped.
No, but why?
Got old.
Yeah, it's never old. I just go back and watch it every now and then just for fun. But yeah, I'm just
now that gives me a question.
Yeah.
Which one do you guys think you are? Sleepy Joe?
Sleepy Joe.
Obama or Donald Trump?
Sleepy Joe.
You're Sleepy Joe?
Sleepy Joe.
I don't know, because part of me wants to say Obama because I don't know. I'm like, what the fuck are you guys doing?
You're Obama?
Sometimes I feel like, yeah. Yeah.
I'm Trump without the money.
So just racist.
I'm chump.
The
You didn't answer. You didn't answer the question, man.
You're just chump. You're chump.
I'm chump.
You didn't answer the question, Andre.
Andre. Yeah, Andre. You didn't answer the question, Andre.
No, I was saying as to him, like you're
What?
right.
What question?
No, I was saying I was agreeing with that. Yeah, he didn't answer the question, Andre. Like, because I said, Andrew, so you're just you said you're Donald Trump without the money, and I said, oh, so you're just racist. You didn't even speak, and then Andre went, you didn't answer the question, Andrew.
Anyways,
I think that brings us to a good topic now. Spider-Man.
I like Spider-Man.
I just love how talking about Donald Trump segues into Spider-Man.
Yeah, well, think about it. Spider-Man lives in New York. Trump Tower's in New York, and then he was also part of Home Alone 2, which was set in New York.
Yes. Now, Andrew, I believe you wanted to talk about Spider-Man the most on this podcast.
Damn right.
Lead with something.
Yeah.
It's a fan service game.
Oh boy.
Ooh, interesting. Okay.
Let's piss them off.
Here's why. They added too much shit and made it way too short for a story. They could have gone a completely different route with Kraven, and they fucked it up.
So intense.
I'm just saying, there's like barely any Kraven. You're mainly just fighting as goons the entire time. You had two interactions with him, 3,
around
and then
there.
just for him to not even be killed by Peter. That upset me the most.
Beater.
It's Beater.
I said Peter.
Beater.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Peter
beat
Barker.
my wife.
Peter Barker. Okay, but I understand your perspective on that. I agree. I wish the story was a little longer, and I really wanted to just as Spider-Man just kick the snot out of Kraven. Like I was hoping that Peter would kill him. Actually, should we? I mean, it's been a month since it's been out.
There's no spoiler. Everybody has been spoiled about it or playing it anyways. It doesn't matter.
That's also weird to think about. It came out a month ago.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's been so fast.
That hurts. It feels weird. Oh God.
Well, it is what it is, man. It just like
it's growing.
It is weird though. I'll admit that I personally, of course, everybody else as well has different expectations or time waiting for it, but like it felt so long waiting for Spider-Man 2, and then as soon as it came out, I could not drop it. I played it for like 3 days straight. I'm not even joking. 3 days straight to beat the whole game.
No, I did too. I was a little behind since I had a few things to do, but like, yeah, that was the only game I played.
Yeah, it was great in my opinion, even though there was a lot of fan service stuff, especially with Scream bonding to MJ. A lot of people have been upset about that.
Really?
And then, well, yeah, because I mean, Scream is not, with MJ at all out of the video game.
Okay, if you don't mind me asking, who was Scream supposed to, be bonded with?
Good question, Andrew.
I'll look it up.
Looking it up.
We all don't know. We just know it's not MJ.
We just gotta check because, like, I get that sometimes they need to pull the go around the bend a little bit, like give like some differences, like, oh, this isn't actually going to be this character, which I'm fine with. Get a little
Donna
difference.
Diego.
Who the hell is Donna Diego?
Someone not important, clearly.
I guess not.
And oh, wait. Scream's main goal was to kill Venom because he's inferior.
Oh, that's nice.
I just remember Scream from the old '90s show, and then also the Universal Spider-Man ride.
Mm-hmm.
And that ride is amazing, by the way. I've been on that ride like so many times when I was at Universal. I think like almost 2 years ago. Like I went on it so many times, and my parents were like, you know what, you can just go walk around on your own. I was like, bet, and I just kept going back into Spider-Man line.
How old were you when this happened?
Like 18, 17.
Oh, I thought it was like when I was like 6. I was like, dude, you could have been kidnapped.
No, it's because we're a family, so we have to go on every ride together. But then I went on Spider-Man too many times, so they just let me.
Yeah, no, I just the way you were like wording it, I was like, oh, you were like 10 years old, and then
No,
like,
I was an adult.
no, like you said your age, but like before I was like, I was thinking you're like 10. Like, you know what? Just walk around the park. I'm like, oh my god, he could have been killed. You could have been kidnapped. Mr. Epstein could have came out of nowhere and just took you.
They really. That's a whole nother topic. I was about to sidetrack off. Anyways, with Spider-Man 2.
We'll put a pin in Epstein.
No, not that. It was with
Oh.
Universal. Jesus, Tyler.
I thought he was like,
Tyler really wants to talk about Epstein.
Epstein,
I
right.
really don't.
I was just gonna talk about like the merchandise sellers or whatever at Universal. How there's so many of them.
Yeah.
But with Spider-Man 2, personally, I loved it. Yeah, there was a lot of fan service. I don't care. It was worth the wait. I still loved the game. Venom was cool. Oh, yeah, I see a lot of people crying about, oh my god, he wasn't getting hurt by the fire. He wasn't traumatized by the fire. I don't care. This is Insomniac's version of Venom. They can do whatever they want. It's not from the comics. It is their own universe.
Yeah,
so
see,
they can do what they want.
See, that's why I was
Also,
okay
them
with it.
trying with Asian Venoms, like they could have made them better.
Okay, I can agree with that. They just kind of slapped Agent Venom on there for like what,
Fan
like
service reasons.
20 minutes of like gameplay, and it was like, all right, well, that's the last time you'll see him.
All right, we're done.
Like his entire existence was just for fan service. Like, and then the end with Venom growing the wings, becoming the god of light out of fucking nowhere. That pissed me off.
I mean, he's able to do it though. I thought, right?
If no one, well, he's only able to do it after he kills the god of the symbiotes. Then he gets wings, and then he becomes, the god. He becomes the god of light. And
okay, I thought he could just like do it anytime because like he can already like stretch and do all that kind of stuff. So I thought
no.
So well, my bad then. My apologies.
I knew Anti-Venom was going to be in the game regardless. I just didn't expect the way they did it.
Yeah, I was still happy to see it, but like I'm not a fan of how the suit looks. To be honest, in my opinion, it does not look good.
It doesn't even look like the white version of the black suit, which is what it's supposed to look like. It just looked like its own.
Yeah, it really does look like its own suit.
I mean, it was kind of like made like differently, right? Like, how does the Anti-Venom suit get made in like the comics?
Using the white blood cells.
Okay, well, like think about it. It was made differently than how it was in the game. Like,
I was just saying they could have paired it better with the black suit that they made.
Yeah, I'm just saying like maybe that's why it looked a little different. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm so used to I'm already used to them changing Anti-Venom's like entire story of how he gets created in every media of Spider-Man. But I just think the suit could have been a little bit better. I do not like the thick black outlines of his eyes.
Yeah, that does like it is weird to look at.
I think that's what really ruined it was the outline of the eyes.
Yeah. Yes. Let's see. I did like not the Anti-Venom suit, but the actual regular symbiote suit. Oh my god, it was so good, especially how it changes later on once Peter really like bonds more with the symbiote.
Yeah,
dude, it is so cool looking, and it's just it was super cool just to see all of it, the suit details, Peter, getting madder and madder. Even though, he was acting, I swear, he was, oh yeah, he was a savage. He did not care.
I love it. No one loves you. Like, oh, god damn, Peter.
This is why your family left you.
Yeah, I'm like, you're supposed to be fighting him, not emotionally killing him.
What's the difference?
He got revenge on those back shots.
Oh yeah.
I love it.
And then him talking to Harry, it's like, why don't you pop some more pills and say how you really feel?
Oh,
Like he really did not fucking
no.
care, bro.
Or the fact that he's like just monologuing to himself when he's gliding. MJ goes like, "Not now, MJ," and then just goes back to schizo rambling. Like,
Yeah.
all right, Peter, you need to settle down.
Man.
I think Insomniac did show how Venom really did feel about Peter a lot more than some like of the animated series would show.
Yeah.
Like him putting the blanket on him realizing that Peter's tired, so he's just gonna go out and fight for him.
Yeah.
Symbiote did more for Peter than MJ ever did.
Absolutely. Venom power. We don't need woman.
Like that's what people don't really realize is that Venom loves Peter, even after Peter like threw him out and then he went to go bond with Eddie Brock. Just like in general. Venom will always love Peter Parker.
Yeah.
It's just he gets mad that Peter threw him to the side, and then him having the emotions of Peter after that.
Yeah.
Like a good example for those who haven't read comics or anything. Like if you've at least seen the shows or the animated shows, Spectacular Spider-Man shows that are pretty damn good. As I remember one scene, it's like towards the end where Eddie has, he still has the symbiote, but in order to get the symbiote off of Eddie real quick, Spider-Man tricked him. He was like, he went to the ground, got on his knees, just like, take me back. I want you back in my life. And then Eddie was like, that's not gonna happen. Or like, he says something like with just saying him. He was like, I'm not gonna go back to you. And then Spidey was like, I, not we. And then the symbiote just like popped off at Eddie. Eddie was tweaking. He was like, no, come back to me. And all for Peter to get the symbiote and then trick the symbiote again. It's like, nah, I was joking. And just fucking destroys it.
Get that shit. Peter's savage, man. Even without the symbiote, he knows what he has to do. I didn't know there were bears in these.
What? I'm fresh out of honey.
Dude, I legit just the immediate cut him getting flown out the window is the best thing. That game.
That's what he gets for teasing the bear.
I'm fresh out of honey. I love it. Dude, that game really like it knew how to get its emotions correctly. Like just one moment you're feeling I'm a hero, yeah, I'm fighting crime, and then like I'm busting jokes, I'm making people laugh, and then Howard.
There's so much emotional shit.
I'm a changed man after that.
And I like how everyone agrees if he doesn't win the best voice actor for the Game Awards.
It's rigged if he doesn't win it, bro. He put so much emotion into it.
Harry, please.
Like, now I'm not dissing on any of the other nominations. Like, for example, I know one people are still gonna be voting for, even like not for Game of the Year. That's a whole different one. For the voice acting category or best performance, they're gonna try and vote for the Asterion voice actor from Baldur's Gate. Which I mean, like
that's understandable. That's understandable.
He's really good.
Asterion is awesome.
He's really good, but like if you look at both performances, right? I'm not trying to like say one is better, but you can clearly see for Yuri Lowenthal, like from Spider-Man 1 to like Spider-Man 2, he put his whole soul into Spider-Man 2. Like it was as if he's actually like Peter in that moment.
He put that Spidussy into it.
And like the raw emotion that it is honestly that he conveys through Peter is incredible. And I think that alone just needs him to win that category. Like Astarion's voice actor, I don't know his real name, but the voice actor for him is amazing. He's an awesome guy, but I honestly want Yuri Lowenthal to win this one. It reached out more to me because like the emotion he just put into the voice acting was phenomenal.
Neil Newbon.
Neil, okay.
Oh, he was Heisenberg in I was about to say Breaking Bad just for fun, but Heisenberg for Resident Evil Village, and then
nice.
Gavin Reed for Detroit Become Human.
Oh, so he's kind of stacked.
Yeah.
We got 2 stacked voice actors going against each other. I don't give a fuck about the others. I'm just gonna say that now.
This is a.
Oh, you know what? Can we talk about? Do you guys know about the most recent? And this goes with the community support category on the Game Awards. Have you seen that Destiny 2 was nominated on there?
What?
And literally just like what 2 maybe 3 weeks ago, of our time. We don't know when you guys will be seeing this video, but that they talked about on Twitter how they had to lay off like a lot of their employees, and then they blamed the consumers and the players for not supporting the game enough, and they said, yeah, it's all your fault that we laid off all our employees. Like, what?
No. Here's even what's more fucked is apparently there was rumors saying that they funded Destiny 2 so fucking much so they wouldn't have to lay off people, and then they completely fucking blew all that money. And it was just like, what the fuck's going on in your studio? When like, it's like it's stuck in a fucking loop with Destiny. It's just their game has never been good.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with them.
The first one was great, and then the couple of DLCs in it were okay. And then it's like, let's release the second one and make it have even more evolved with the people. And then it's like, oh yeah, but microtransactions again and again. And it was like the game when it first came out was like what, $60, and now it's free. When it was like $60 plus the microtransactions, like, are you fucking serious? You already spent $60. Now you're gonna spend more just so you can enjoy the game. And then you go into the PvP mode. And then it's like, oh, you're going against everyone that's like really fucking high leveled with armor that they probably didn't even grind for. They probably just fucking spent money just so they can go shit on people that are trying to try Destiny 2 for what it is worth for. Yeah, no, they laid off so many fucking workers and blame everyone else, even though it's been said that they've been given a shit ton of money. And just so it wouldn't happen, and it happened anyway. So,
and this is why we need to just strangle some people.
Also, this reminds me of video game creators can't keep. There's a trend, and I know you guys noticed it for the past, I'm gonna say 5 years. Any new game that has came out has been absolute shit on release. Unfinished pieces of garbage.
Yeah.
And then it takes them about a year or 2 to fix it. Cyberpunk right now is a perfect example of it. It came out and it was awful on release. It took them a little bit, and now it's known, and now people are realizing it's a really good game. The story's good, the animation's good, the city feels alive, and it's like, that should have been on release. That's what they promised. They promised so many little things on release that now some of those things that they promised are not even coming out. And now we're gonna have to wait for the next game to come out to get said features. Because I think I think somewhere it's confirmed or not. Take my words with a grain of salt with some of these topics, but it's just they got to stop. Game companies have to stop releasing games to the point. It's like they're only doing it because they know people are gonna buy it.
Yeah, that's why I'm sure we like all agree on this. Like, if they say, "Hey," like they just made it public, "Hey, it's gonna be a little bit longer than we thought. We're just working things out, making sure things are gonna be fixed and everything's okay. So we're gonna just delay the release. We're sorry." I'm sure in the beginning, everyone would be like, "That is so bullshit. Like, it's so stupid. Release it now." But like in the end, I'm sure everyone agrees that, like, just say, "Hey,
I mean,
we're getting a lot longer
Cyberpunk did
time."
that. Cyberpunk was already being worked on for like 7 years, and then that's when people started pushing it at the end. And they said they weren't going to release it because it wasn't finished, and they knew it wasn't finished, and then they still released it anyways. It's just they got to, like every Pokemon game, they work on it for a year and then it gets released.
Well, once after X and Y, after I don't know actually.
The fact that Spider-Man 2 came out and it still had its bugs, but they weren't drastic and like game changing.
Like
no, it was just like
it surprises me that a company can still do that.
They're greedy. Yeah. All they're thinking about in the end is money. And then like, okay, for example, Game Freak. that they know that they have the advantage of just releasing an unfinished game and knowing that the consumers will just buy it easily no matter what. And I can't lie,
Stop calling me out.
I'm one of those
Stop calling
victims.
us out, man. Stop calling us out.
But Game Freak themselves, they used to make amazing games. You want to know why? Like on the DS era, they had the best Pokemon games because they took more than 1 year to create them. They took their time making them. They didn't release on a yearly basis like they keep trying to do now. No, they actually took their time and had a good working team that knew what they're doing. But now all they're thinking about is just money. Like we know, like what Pokemon, I believe, is the number one franchise
Yeah.
like
Period.
overall in like earning money in the world. They are
Yeah.
literally the number one. I was kind of surprised by that because I was like, well, it's Pokemon, yeah, but I didn't think it would be number one like merchandise seller in the world, but it surprisingly is. And they have billions and billions of dollars, yet they can't put in the money or the effort or time into making a good game anymore. With Scarlet and Violet, now not story, just the gameplay. Scarlet and Violet's gameplay being the worst released out of all of Pokemon games. I mean,
Yeah.
there are so many glitches at the beginning. The frame rate is a huge issue as well. Dropping like from it should have been like around 30, right? Where the Switch handles 30. The freaking Pokemon can't even handle like 20. It'll go like below that just because. And this is like what, a bigger open world than Sword and Shield and more of an
Yeah.
actual open world, but
Compared to Arceus.
but they clearly didn't put enough time into it, or they just didn't know how to deal with an open world because the huge frame rate issue was just very upsetting. The amount of glitches, like being able to just like constantly see under the map, or like your character's model's arms start glitching, like they stretch super long. It's looking like Luffy from One Piece. Like it is just like crazy how many glitches there are in the game. And like, of course, no game is perfect. There will always be glitches, right? But
Yeah.
with this game, oh my god! I mean, it's like you don't even have to try to find a glitch. It'll be there for you. It will show up.
Oh, you don't need to find it. It'll find you.
And it's very disappointing to see that their quality is only going to keep declining, with the exception of their spin-offs. For whatever reason, their
Arceus,
spin-off games have been better than the mainline games. Example, Pokemon Legends Arceus.
Pokemon Conquest.
Well, I'm talking about recent ones. I'm not
No,
talking
I know.
about old ones.
I just really like that game.
That's a good one though. But with more recent ones, Legends Arceus is absolutely one of my most favorite Pokemon games now, because it is, when I think of an open world Pokemon game that you can literally like just catch them on your own like that, Pokemon Legends Arceus is what I imagined as a child. Not Sword of Shield or Scarlet and Violet. Legends Arceus, surprisingly, the one that's not even a mainline game, did it better than both of them, in my opinion. And that may be a hot topic for some people, but personally, I had more fun with it. It made me more engaged. This was the first time I ever, even though it's not an official way to do it, but like the Pokédex, for all the Pokemon games, dealing with that, it's annoying because it's not just region Pokemon that you have to worry about. You have to worry about Pokemon from the other games that you have to transfer over and you cannot catch in that one Pokemon game.
Yeah.
But Legends Arceus, you don't have that issue. You can catch them all there. And in fact, it's the only way to get the secret ending, which is the fight against Arceus. And that actually prompted me and encouraged me to complete the Pokédex. And it was the first time I actually ever completed a Pokédex in a Pokemon game.
Good for you. I haven't.
Which took multiple hours, but just the fact that it had a secret ending at the end, and not just like, oh, you completed Pokédex, here's a shiny charm or whatever you get, like, or just like, oh, good job, you did it. Here's an award that you don't even need because you already finished the game, but oh well, here you go.
Yeah. It's not like, hey, you got a little thing that, you're like, oh yeah, here's God. Go catch him. You can go catch God. He said, hey, you caught them all. Find me. And you're like, oh, okay.
And yeah, like that's just it's crazy, but it encourages you, man. It encourages you to like Legends Arceus being able to have a secret ending at the end of after completing the Pokédex. And they had a lot of just post story content that I liked. And I was like, yeah, see, this is how it should be. But now it's just like with the Pokemon games now, the mainline ones at least, they're not that good graphically or gameplay wise. For God's sake, the spin-off ones are better. Legends Arceus, Pokemon Snap, was it Snap 2, I think?
Pokemon, I think it's just Pokemon New
or
Snap.
just New Snap. Pokemon New Snap. If you look at the anime, tell me.
It's new Pokemon Snap. That's it. Good job, Tom.
New Pokemon Snap. I know it was made by different, obviously not Game Freak, but why in the world did it have so much better looking graphics and animations than the Scarlet and Violet? Well, okay,
it came out 2 years ago.
Okay, well, okay, I can take one viewpoint against that actually, and I know people will be like, well, Scarlet and Violet is a much more bigger game with a lot more Pokemon for the Pokédex. I can understand that, but at the same time, at least that game was finished and came out finished. But Scarlet and Violet does not feel finished. It just doesn't feel finished. It's like, here, we only spent this much time working on it. We're not going to work on it any longer because we know you're going to buy it regardless. Here you go. Just throw it in our face.
Yeah.
And we eat it up. We
do. For me,
every year.
Yeah, for me, I'm like, oh, Pokemon. And then that's it. I you know me. I mean, yeah, I'd like to bring this one up. I didn't bring up Pokemon. I have changed. It's no longer. But I'm kidding. But I get tired of it sometimes. Like I get tired like part of me like I was like, oh, Pokemon, because when you brought up like it's not like every year. Part of me is like, wait, I thought Black and White came like a year later. Black and White 2 came out. No, it was 2 years apart, surprisingly. And I was like, oh, okay, well that makes sense. Being one of the best Pokemon games ever, fight me. Everyone knows it's true. You know it. We all know it.
It also just made sense for Black and White 2 to come out a little bit sooner.
Yeah, because they knew
it's basically just the same fucking game, just different
story.
Just more shit.
See, like now we thought that's what Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl would have been. It's the same game but better. But no, it was worse somehow.
Let me remind you.
I really want to know
how is it worse?
How do you fuck up a game that's already out?
I'll tell you.
Because they didn't. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. Hold on. Let me crack my bag. This one's going to be a long one. So the main problem was that was that they took Diamond and Pearl, not Platinum, but Diamond and Pearl, and because of that, they took all the problems that Diamond and Pearl had: limited fire types, really weird level curving, team composition that like was very limited for you, because the underground, like the new little thing for the underground for BDSP, is not needed. You don't need that. Just put more Pokemon out in the open world and keep it just like how it is now. Just like you don't need them all underground, because if I want to go catch a Houndour, I shouldn't have to go underground and go to every little location praying that I find one. It should just be like in a route, like normal. Like a normal Pokemon game. And then just again, Andre, you made a great point like a while back. The chibi style. I get why they made it look like that, because that's what they kind of looked like on the DS. But just because that's what they looked like on the DS shouldn't be what they look like on the Switch. Something that is supposed to have more capabilities than the DS, because the DS had like the game cartridge, that's all you had. You didn't have stuff from an outside source. You didn't have an external like memory. That little card was your saving grace. If you broke it, that's it. But the Switch has backup power, and that's it. Also, you shouldn't have a fire type Elite Four member when there's only 2 fire types. How do you still mess that up? And I hate Cynthia. She's the best champion. We can agree on this, right?
Yup.
Yes.
Explain to me why I had to try her twice. I fought her once, failed near the very end because Garchomp, because it's Garchomp. And the second time, the second try, I beat her. I didn't feel joy. I didn't feel like, oh my gosh, I did it. I was like, oh, I did it. Cool. Explain it. Why was the joy of facing probably the hardest champion to ever grace our lives have on the Switch, the game with more capability, the more possibilities, the more power, decides to make the fight so bland? The music was why I was there, because I knew, like, again, I failed the first time because Garchomp is Garchomp and the game really likes to just screw with you, but it shouldn't do that, which, I'm sorry, I have to talk about this now. Sword and Shield kind of just was the path for ruining Pokemon.
With the way it is, like gameplay.
My main tripe with that game, the reason why I get so annoyed now is because, every game before that, like before Gen 5, you had limited TMs.
Yes.
Because, then Gen 5 rolled around. You had unlimited. You can use it as many times as you want. That was amazing. Then you had Gen 6, same thing. Gen 8, same thing. Gen 9 rolls around with the Dynamax and the Gigantamax raids. And then it's like, oh yeah, you don't have TMs, you have TRs, which are limited. And you have to find the right Dynamax battle or the Gmax den, or else you're not going to find it. And then you're going to have a very limited move pool for your Pokemon. And then Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl rolled around, and they didn't bring back any of the new moves. They just brought back all the old moves that Gen 4 had, and then gave 2 new moves for each new Pokemon. Oh, not old, new, old Pokemon, which then it doesn't give your team composition the right thing, and you just stuck there with the same moves that you were when you were 10 years old. And then it's the same thing now for Scarlet and Violet. You have the limited moves. You get the moves that you get from the story, and they're shit. They are shit. Only like the 8th gym or the very end do you get the good actual moves. Everything else, it's like, oh, you want Flamethrower? You got to find the right den. You got to make sure that the terrestrialization Pokemon is a fire type or has the fire freaking crystal. And if not, oh, well, even if it does, there's like a 50-50 chance it's going to be like Flamethrower or Overheat or like Flame Charge or shit that you don't want. You don't need this in a game. It's a Pokemon game. You go, you catch little creatures, and you fight them with as your friend. I don't need to be going around for 2 hours looking for a goddamn TM that I'm gonna have on my Pokemon. I don't get it. This is really heated for me. Holy shit! I did not realize how heated I get about this. I'm just mad. I don't need limited TMs, dude. We had the problem in Gen 1 to Gen 4. We don't need it. Gen 5 made the way and did really well. The hard part was finding them, and I get why, because they're supposed to be scattered about. But if I have to spend hours on end looking for the right TM that I can only use once, that is bullshit. I feel like I'm back in Gen 4 with Diamond and Pearl. I only have my one fire type, which is my starter, or my Ponyta. And then I have to deal with Flynn, who is a fire type Elite Four member who has Lopunny, Steelix, and Drifloon. Why are they fire type Pokemon? They don't count as fire. They're not fire types. Why are they in the fire type Elite Four member? It's so freaking stupid. I need a breather. I need someone else needs to talk, or else I'm gonna start shouting, and that's not gonna end well for any of us.
I mean, you already are shouting.
I am. It's my favorite franchise. Why do you have to suck so much ass sometimes? I swear, you don't need to. Just listen to the people. Just delay your time for making games. You don't need to shove them out every year for well, actually, it's been a year since Scarlet and Violet came out. So guess what? In about a year, we're going to get another one. So just listen to your people. Listen to the people that actually play the game, and they'll be like, oh yeah, here's how you can fix it. Listen to them. Then you can actually continue being the franchise that we all grown to love. I think when I think of Pokemon, I think of not Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. Jesus Christ. I think about how they're
Bro, I
bad.
didn't know you liked it that much.
I think about how bad they are, especially the following animations and their speed, which is another thing I will gladly rant about. But when I think of a Pokemon game, I think of Black and White 2, Black and White, or Heart Gold and Soul Silver, or even X and Y, because those 4 games were like, and Platinum, those 5 games were perfection. They were. They really were. Yes, the leveling curve in Heart Gold and Soul Silver was really weird. I can get by that. And I ranted about it a while back too. But in the end, those 5 games were so good because you can just pick them back up anytime you want and just continue playing because there was enjoyment in every second. Like, I had to do multiple run-throughs of Sword and Shield to actually get enjoyment of it. Like, different types of challenges, like bug type only, and which was fun actually because it actually brought me a challenge because Sword and Shield is so easy. Like, Pokemon Black 2 and White 2 was the game that, like, Pokemon Black and just Unova in general was a game that really challenged you in a way as a Pokemon trainer because it brought the most like existential question for a kid while playing the game. Do Pokemon consent to being caught? Like, and you think about that. You really think about that when you have your Pokemon. And like, sure, Scarlet and Violet has like the Koraidon or Miraidon, depending on which one you are, about like, oh, it's going through trouble, help it out. But I don't have emotional attachment to it because like it only like
I kept eating my goddamn sandwiches.
Yeah, screw you, man. I wanted that Turpkey, but it's just that because like you didn't grow with it. You didn't battle with it and you couldn't have it as a Pokemon until the very end. You only like interact with it when you're in the picnic, which people don't use unless they're like shiny hunting, or that they're or whenever they're doing like the Herba Mystica stuff. Like, but for other Pokemon games, like you felt connected with them. Even with the friendship thing added in Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, like no, it wasn't added in that. It was added in Sun and Moon, in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. Even with that, I still felt a connection because like it would talk to like in a quote unquote talk, like, oh, Pikachu toughed it out so you wouldn't feel bad, or Pikachu looks like it might cry because it's almost dead. Like you felt a connection so long ago in those games, especially back in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, where they could follow you around. And then Sword and Shield brought it back with the Isle of Armor. And explain to me how Dragapult, a Pokemon that is described to be as fast as a fighter jet, whenever it follows you around, it is so slow.
Taking its time, man.
They don't need to do that. They don't. Like, Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee kind of had it right, but the fact that they made it so slow that it has to teleport, just give it the minimal speed where it doesn't need to teleport to you. And then Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl did that too, where the speed is so slow that like they'll have to like zip to you. Like they fixed it in a way with Torterra because Torterra is like really slow in like Pokemon games in general. So they made it really slow. I get that. But again, you shouldn't have Pokemon that are known to be very fast, like again, like Dragapult, and they're so slow. They are so slow that you're like, okay, I don't need this. I don't need to do this for some reason. You just gotta hear it like teleporting to you, like some dog in Minecraft, and it's just like it's my favorite franchise, and seeing it just diminish to how it is today just really makes me sad. Like I love the franchise still, but just seeing the state that it is in right now just wrecks me.
Yeah, I get that. But yeah, Game Freak they have not been hitting the same.
I grew up
for a
with
long
the
time.
franchise. Did I tell you guys how I got into Pokemon? Have I told this story before?
No.
Okay, Tyler lore. When back before I moved up from the town before I am now, I was in a daycare. And in said daycare, we there like near the very end, because like parents were picking up the kids, we would all go to like a living room kind of area and like watch, like a movie or like TV just to, like for the last 5 minutes. And they were flipping through the channels, and the first Pokemon movie was on the channel, and it was when Mewtwo sends out his clone Charizard to fight Ashes. That was the scene that got me into it. I knew Mewtwo somehow immediately was the villain, but seeing Charizard, which is also kind of why he's still one of my favorites, brought me into the franchise. Like, oh my god, what is that beautiful creature? And so, like, that's where I am now. That one little moment brought it to me. And seeing
Charizard?
Seeing like 5 seconds of the Pokemon movie. That's what brought me to who I am now, essentially. That's why I love it so much, like Pokemon. But again, seeing I see the gifts you're putting in general, guys. But seeing how it is now, just I'd go back to my younger self and be like, it's gonna get a little bad, like when you're in like a little bit in the double digits of living, but kind of hopefully hold out for something better, that it gets better. But it's just sad sometimes.
Yeah, I get
But-
that, man. You know,
Yeah.
hopefully Game Freak gets their acts together at some point again, but I don't even know. We don't even know how Black and White remake is gonna go because we know that has to happen. They just did Diamond Pearl remake, which was bad, and now next is the Black and White.
Yeah, please don't end up like BDSP. Don't, please. That's my hope.
It's gonna happen.
Because I feel like even if they do, yes, I will be annoyed, very annoyed. But the problem is Black and White. Not the problem. The good part is that Black and White was just really good already. Like there weren't really any problems with it. Like there wasn't limited like fire types. Again, looking at you, Diamond and Pearl. Like Platinum fixed that. So they should have done like a Pokemon like Platinum on the Switch instead. But like for Pokemon Black and White, there weren't any problems with it. Like genuinely, I cannot think of a single problem. Actually, I can. Eliza's Emolga constantly spamming Volt Switch. That was the one problem I had. I hate that little squirrel. But outside of that, there were no problems. So even if you translate it into, the Switch, even if you somehow do the BDSP route, which I will not enjoy, but I'll still play it anyway because it's Black and White, I think I'll still enjoy it. Like, there won't be problems. Also, if you get a Legends Kyurem game, that'd be pretty sweet.
That would be really cool, and I can trust them to at least do that good because Pokemon Legend Arceus was amazing.
I keep hearing that that's gonna end up becoming a thing.
I want the original Tau Dragon. I sound like I said gibberish. Let me try that one again. I want the original dragon, like the OG dragon when Kyurem, Reshiram, and Zekrom were fused.
Yeah.
Because
that'd be nice.
I know it's part dragon. We can at least admit that.
What makes you think that?
I don't know. It's just a gut feeling, really. It's just a gut feeling. I don't know. I also kind of like a 5-second thing that I found interesting about you guys. The Spider-Man, like it's really off topic, like going back. Like the Spider-Man suit, like Peter's white suit, you say anti-venom.
That's what it's called.
Well, I pronounce because like I say anti-venom.
Well, I mean, okay, that's not even like the word itself is not Spider-Man related. That's how people say it in general. Like anti, they both say it like that.
Yeah, no, I just realized that both of you say anti and I say anti-venom. But like I was like, that's just cool. I was like,
mostly because in the other iterations that we have seen in Spider-Man, like not the outside comics where they have voice acting, they've all called them anti.
Yeah, it's just I've seen so many like nature documentaries and all that, like about snake venom. Like, oh yeah, we use the anti-venom to help prevent it and all that kind of stuff. So,
yeah, I guess it just depends on what you're talking about.
Yeah,
because I say anti-venom for like the snake shit, while anti-venom is anti-venom.
I'll always say it anti-venom. Yeah. It's just who I am. But see, there's look at that. We wrapped it back around that. Like, we have our different choices in how we say things or how we do things. It's fantastic.
Yeah. Well, I think that's a great segue to in today's podcast.
So remember, children and people, I don't think children should be listening to this. Remember, people watching, perspectives are true. Listen to someone's perspective. If it's not something you agree with, politely.
And if your perspective doesn't align with mine, you are wrong.
You should die. But genuinely, unless it's just a normal expression, like I prefer creamy peanut butter to chunky, that's a fine perspective.
Creamy is the better one.
No,
I'm sorry. If I'm gonna have a crunch in my sandwich, it has to be chips or that nice crisp piece of lettuce. But if it's a peanut butter and jelly, I expect that shit.
Wait, do you put lettuce in your PB&J?
No, I meant like a sandwich, and then I was talking. If you will let me finish, because I was talking, and then I said, but if it's a PB&J sandwich, I don't want that shit to be crunchy. But no, Tyler wants to interrupt me.
No, just the way you said like because like I was still thinking about you were just talking about a PB&J, so you're like, or the lettuce. I'm like, does he put lettuce on his PB?
Why would I say unless it's chips in my sandwich, or then switch to, and it has to be a nice crisp piece of lettuce, and then I say
I don't know
for my PB&J.
All right.
And then Tyler's like, oh.
Wow, what a great ending, guys.
I'm sorry. All right, I admit I'm wrong.
Someone's
I'm
not
sorry.
getting tickled tonight.
What?
Well, that's all, guys. Thank you, and subscribe to our podcast.
Like, comment, and subscribe. Comment down what kind of peanut butter you enjoy, crunchy or smooth.
Please don't.
Do it. No, we need. Or if you think the moon landing was fake, you're wrong. There we go. That's our truth. If you think the moon landing
isn't real,
shut up.
Of course.
Well,
shut up.
Thank you all.